I'm Sue Hodgson. I'm Area Nafas Demonstrator for the East Midlands, and I've been asked to do a couple of demonstrations for you to view online so that perhaps it's something that can entertain you. With the new lockdown rules that came in today, only 6 of us can get together, so I hope this will give you some entertainment over the next few days. My first demonstration is based on a woodland theme, and it's actually going to be an adaptation of the Snow White story. That will become clear as we go on. But first of all, I've got this lovely piece of bark that came off a tree, and I found it out whilst we were out on the walk. The mechanics for this design are going to be completely natural, and so I've used a wooden takeaway food tray here, and I've secured it to the log simply by wrapping some natural jute string around the Agra Wool foam that I'm using as well. And this then is completely natural, it's biodegradable, compostable, and there's no horrible plastic involved with this at all. So Agra Wool, this is the new must-have thing for biodegradable floristry. Lots of people are talking about it on the internet, and so I thought I'd use it, and let's see how it goes. I've had a little play with this today, and it is very similar to Oasis, both green and brown, but for soft stems it's a little bit tough, so I'm going to be, you will see me making holes for those stems to go in, so I'm hoping they're going to hold. So let's have a go and start this. My outline, I'm going to use this beautiful autumn grevillea. This is actually sprayed with a water-based paint, but every year when it's available, I always buy it. I think it's the most gorgeous texture. It has lots of movement, beautiful leaves that are serrated. They're not being sharp though, but they are really lovely. And these go in to the Agra Wool really lovely because it's a very, very woody stem. And we're just going to use this to create the outline of what I'm wanting to do. I'm going to use the whole length of this piece of wood, and these autumn colours are just so cheerful at the moment. Today's been a beautifully warm day, but I think we do need those sunshine colours, don't we, in our lives as it gets to autumn. So I'm just going to have that just going over the side there to soften the toughness and the roughness of the bark. I'm just going to put a little bit more down the other end. These were just snipped off the longer piece when I was preparing it. So that's it. So I'm going to just turn it around to see what I'm doing. So we've got a lovely diagonal line there, very strong straight line. The next thing I'm going to put in are these beautiful monk hoods. Now these are just coming out in my garden. They are absolutely beautiful, so called because of the shape of the flower. The aconitum, which is what it's actually called, the proper name, it's so beautiful. It comes out after the delphiniums have just about finished in your garden and gives you that beautiful blue to see you through into the autumn. They also self-seed, so you do find them popping up in lots of different places through your garden, which is also lovely. They do last a long time in the garden. They're very, very good long lasters. So I'm going to just pop these in this end to give a little bit of height to the design. I'm going to just turn that round, just bear with me a second. Okay, I can't actually do flower arranging backwards way on, so I'm just going to pop this one in here. And from the top, this Agra Wool seems to be quite difficult to get in, but if you go in from the side, it's easier. So I've just layered those at different heights to show you a little bit of graduation there in texture. So the next thing I'm going to put in, which are now just out in the gardens, are these beautiful physalis. I remember as a little girl seeing these and thinking they looked so much, I think we used to call them Chinese lanterns then, and I'm not sure if we're allowed to do that anymore. Physalis, they are the Chinese gooseberry. If you leave them to ripen in your garden, you will actually get the little gooseberries inside, and that happened in my garden last year when I left them. So I'm going to just turn this round before I put these in. And I'm going to give this a real splash of colour in the middle. Now that aconitum doesn't like it there because it went in at the top, so I'm going to just make a proper hole with a screwdriver that I've got here and just put that in there, and that's much more secure. So put some more physalis in here, and I think we're going to have the same problem, so I'm going to just, I think this is what, when I've been looking at other YouTube videos, what the ladies have been doing, and the guys sometimes have just been puncturing a hole in the Agra Wool. It would be useful to know how many of you out there have been using this Agra Wool. It's available now at all the wholesalers. It's been really easy to get hold of. So give it a go. It's about £2 a block. It's a lot more expensive than the green or the brown Oasis, but it is all natural and it will compost down. Unlike the other two that take, well, the green is horrible, isn't it? We all hate the green anyway, for its composting qualities. But the brown takes 600 days or something in the right conditions, so it's not easy. So the last bit of the physalis I'm just going to put in now. That's upside down, so let's do that correctly. And I'm just going to pop that in between that aconitum and just put it there. I always think that word aconitum sounds quite Egyptian. So I'm going to turn that round there and just show you how that colour gives an absolute wow and blast of colour in the middle of there. So the next thing I'm going to put in here is the Kracosmia Lucifer. Now what a joy this is to have in your border. If you have some of this, then every couple of years just dig up the corms and split it, and you'll be able to pop it into your garden in all sorts of gorgeous places. It really is so vibrant. Look at the beautiful yellow and those trumpet flower heads that we've got there going into the dark, dark red. It really is like Lucifer himself, flashing his flames across the garden. So I'm going to just put these in here. Again, the ones on the top, I'm going to have to puncture. So you'll be wondering why I'm calling this Snow White. So Snow White, in my recollection, serves me correctly, ate a poisoned apple and died and was saved by her prince. Well, I can't find any flowers for this time of year called Prince, so I thought we could have some monks that would save her, hence the monkhood. But the final thing, obviously, is Snow White makes an appearance. So she will do shortly in this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just put some lovely skeleton leaves around this block of wool, just to cover it up, and it's simply these lovely skeleton leaves that you can buy like this, and I'm going to just pin them on with the moss pins that so many of us are used to using. Again, these are really easy to get hold of in any store that does sort of that hobby store, hobby craft, that sort of thing. It's always lovely to use this sort of material because it doesn't wilt. You can layer it up, you can use different colours, they come in many different colours. I've used orange just to complement this now, but I'll show you in a second just how quickly and easily you can use these and how effective they are. Just those at the back. So we're going to just put some more at the front now, just to cover that Agra Wool up. Obviously you can use foliage out your garden, any large leaves if you're wanting to. Some of the foliage now is starting to go past its best with the recent storms we've had. Some of the trees have had a real battering. So when I was looking for some nice garden foliage, some of it wasn't that good, which is why I'm using this. And you just have to use what you've got, don't you? Otherwise, it means you can't do it. And it can cost a lot of money to buy foliage from the wholesalers, and it's not something that I think in this day and age is necessary when you only want a few stems. So I've just put some, you'll have to bear with this, but I've just put some leaves around it, and that's fine. So this is Skimia, and this little Skimia is called Snow White. And so here is Snow White making an appearance. And we're going to just pop her in there. Again, just need to use the screwdriver there just to get that in. So Snow White as a Skimia, I didn't know there was a variety called that, and I thought it was a nice bit of fun to use a character like that in the design. So that is my woodland display there, with the Snow White being saved by the monk hoods from the poison apple. And here's the poison apple that she ate. We're just going to put that in the front there. And that is the woodland display, ladies. Hi, so my second display is going to be this very modern cylindrical vase used to have some coloured foam inside. What I've done is I've got two different sizes of spheres, 9 and 7 centimetres. What I've done is I've threaded a line of clear fishing line straight through them, and then I've taped that to the underside of this, secured this to the top of the vase. And I thought it would be interesting to use this negative space in a very positive way using those colours. So we're using opposing colours on the spectrum of the orange and the green, and making it very vibrant. So this is something you can do at home with the children. You can make your own sticks, paint them, that's absolutely fine. And what I'm doing here is I'm just going to put three or four groups, I think 3 groups of these sticks nicely in a straight line across the back. Straight lines are very strong lines, they're very smooth rhythm, but with these being wavy it just breaks it up. So that is a nice straight line across the back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm using something that's orange. Well, I couldn't really find anything orange that had been dried, so I've used some fantastic seed heads and I've sprayed them with water-based paint. And these seed heads are in the shape of these fantastic alliums that my friend gave me out of her garden. They'd grown along the ground, and so they've been contorted. And so I wanted to use these, and I've been trying to find a reason to use them, a place to use them. So here we are, ladies, I'm using them in here. So I'm putting this in the middle, and because it's contorted as it is, I'm having to put it over on one side. So, because I wanted that in the middle. To bring your eye down from there, I've got some little alliums, which I sprayed. I dried these from last year, and I'm going to spray these. Put my scissors back over here. We're going to put these in here just to bring the line down of that colour, bringing your eye back down. And we're just going to put 2 or 3 of these in here just to use the space in a positive way. There we are. As you can see, because of different sizes, it gives it balance. Then I'm going to use this amazing one. Now my friend last year gave me this and I've kept it very safely, not knowing what to do with it until this very moment. So this is going to go over to one side. So have to be very careful because they are dry and quite brittle. So that's just going to poke out one side like that. And to give this balance, I'm going to put another one here of the medium size. And that's going to live there. Again, you have to be very careful because they dry like biscuits almost. So let me just turn and have a look at that. So that's great. And then just at the bottom, because we've got some space there that I don't want, I'm going to put 3 little alliums. 3 little maids from school are we. Just at the bottom there. And I'm going to cut them all perfectly the same height and put them to mirror those 3 green line, that green line at the back there. And there we are. That's our contemporary design that can sit in your windowsill or on your floor in your room and sit there for a good long time without anyone worrying about it at all, looking lovely. Any colours. So thank you very much for your time, ladies. I hope you've enjoyed my demonstrations, and I'd like to wish you a very happy evening.